How did Ionut Balata enter your life? How's this happened?
So I had a fighter called Amancio Parachute. He was a very good fighter. He was like a world champion kickboxer. He was an international boxer for Romania. And we were training for about a year and a half. And I met Baluta when he came over to fight Joyce. Because I've got my old teammate from the Romanian amateur team. He's coming over, he just needed a gym to train at. I remember he came here without, his coach hadn't come with him, so I did a little bit of pads with him, sharpened him up before the Joyce fight. More just to help Mancio out, do you know what I mean? And I actually remember the first pad session I did with him was then. I come out, I thought, fuck me, who's this lunatic? I said to Aaron, I was like, fucking hell. Had
you heard of him?
Never, yeah. And then I obviously looked it up, I see him just beating TJ Dahoney in the fight before that. And I was like, what's the fight? And he pinged Joyce in the third round, whatever it was. And they did the same thing again when he came over for a Conlon fight. Again, I think he came and used my gym, he's hit the bag a couple of times. And then Amancio just said, look, he's leaving Spain, he's coming over here. Obviously he liked the gym, he liked when we trained together, so he wants to come train with me. That's it basically. Came down, despite the language barrier, we clicked pretty quick.
What's he like as a bloke then, despite the language barrier? How are you getting on with him?
Yeah, good. Like, you know what's funny? Yeah, he is a complete raving lunatic. He is, but he's also a big softie. Do you know what I mean? He's a family man. Like, he loves his family. You know, he's very calm, soft, relaxed. But it's just that 1 minute where it's like it goes from calm to just like, I'm gonna murder everyone in the room within about half a second.
He's ferocious, isn't he?
Yeah, he's ferocious. He's ferocious.
How far can he go? What do you reckon?
You know what? You can't really put a cap on it. He's not, he's not the kind of fighter that you would say no to anyone in. No matter who he's in with, he could be fighting Floyd Mayweather. He's going to be in a competitive fight. He's got some chin on him, I'll tell you that as well. Not that I like any of my fighters taking shots, but I've seen him take some whacks because of the way he fights, because he's aggressive. I've seen him take some whacks and then just bounce off his chin. Even if, for example, his first bar back, he might have a little bit, like a couple of weeks off or whatever, come back in, it's like he never left, do you know what I mean? Or even if he comes back to the corner knackered, I'm like, fucking hell, I've got 4 more rounds of sparring left. As soon as the bell goes, like that, ping, straight back on. It's like he's been hypnotised, and the ping goes and he just comes back to life, do you know what I mean? He's got like his 15th win.
What's he like got to get his 15th win, what's he like as a boxer? How would you describe him?
I would say when he first came down, he was just throw as many punches as you can, as fast as you can. It's almost like no one ever taught him how to slip and roll. So I think that's pretty much all we've managed to. That's all we've managed to really instill in him, is just moving his head. So now he's still got that aggressive style, a high work rate, but I like to think he's a bit more of a controlled aggression, as opposed to just reckless aggression.
So tell me more about Baluta the character, because I understand he's now engaged as well, and that wasn't something that we could have really foreseen. Talk to me.
So you got to remember, obviously, I wasn't there, and I'm hearing the story through. Hey, with the law, you beautiful. That's kind of what it sounds like to me, right? But basically, what I gather from it, he was over here for the Joyce fight. He was staying in a hotel. He's locked eyes, his receptionist from a distance. Got a bit closer, figured out, oh, she sounds a bit Romanian, do you know what I mean? He's with his mate. She's probably the only person who maybe can understand what I'm saying in this hotel. Goes and speaks to her, he gives it the whole, you're beautiful, and come with me, and I'm a boxer, and European WBO, and she's probably there like, yeah. Okay, anyway, so slid into her DMs and that on Instagram, I think.
Of course he did.
He's probably gone back to Romania, chatting away, probably sending her a couple of pics in that, do you know what I mean? So then he comes, I'm not sure if she went there or if it was after the Conlon fight, but I think basically long and short of it is, she ended up telling her parents that she's going over to Spain on holiday, and then she didn't come back. So, basically I'm with GEEZER Baloo, he wants me to stay. Fast forward 3 months, he's on one knee, getting all soppy and that. you know, and now here they are. Calls me up, wants to come back, become my fiance. There we go.
So he's engaged and he's getting married next year?
He's engaged, he's getting married, and the lunatic Baluta is also a big softie, really at heart. That's it. Head over heels, mate.
So he's a winner inside the ring, winner outside the ring?
Absolutely, man. Our Roxanne's brilliant. Roxanne's great. You know, he's got someone who looks after. She works as well. She's a hard worker. She comes over, she speaks perfect English, great for translating. It's nice when you know what the funny thing is with me and Baluta, right? Is like when we're in the gym, we kind of have like a language, if you know what I mean. I was terrible at Spanish at school, but I've kind of picked a few like boxing words up, and we can kind of know what each other means. Mm-hmm. You know, we do a lot of this and a lot of like. But when I call him in an evening, I tell him something. This is our conversation. Oh, mate, how are you? Hey, bro, it's good. Watch TV. I'm home. Cool. Is Roxana there? He's like, okay, one sec. Hey Josh, hey Roxana, can you please tell Baluta? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah,
she's been helpful.
She's good, man. Yeah, it's handy.
So you had a big win with him over Brad Foster. How'd you reflect on that night?
It wasn't really a great fight, in my opinion. Brad Foster ruined the fight for us. He just made it messy, sticking his head in, grabbing hold. I mean, Baluta can always overcome that just because of the way he is. I mean, even if he misses you 4 times, you know that 5th punch is coming. He's not the kind of guy to miss a punch, reevaluate, and then if he misses, he's throwing another shot, probably another 25 shots. So he can still do what he needs to do in a fight like that. It's no problem, but it just doesn't look good. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I was proud of him, and it was, you know, a big win for him. I think a lot of people probably thought he was going to get beaten by Foster, but yeah, I know that was 10%.
So we've only seen 10% of Baluta, you reckon?
Yeah.
So how do you see this fight with Liam Davies? What made you guys say yes to it? Firstly, how do you see it all playing out?
Yeah, I mean, I think out of all of the fights, Liam Davies isn't really someone we shy away from. Do you know what I mean? I do think he's a good fighter. I think he's got a good future ahead of him. I think this fight's a little bit too early for him, though, to be honest. He had a great win last time out against Mark Leach. I thought the fight was going to be closer than it was. You know, he impressed me in that fight. But there's a difference between boxing with a boxer and then boxing with someone who's trying to take your head off in every way possible. And Baluta's got the experience in the trenches. You know, he's done 12 rounds before. He's done it a few times. He's beaten world champion. He's beaten European champion. He beat the Olympian Joyce. He lost on a split decision to Michael Condon, who we all know is world level and a featherweight. And I just think that Davies probably has taken his fight maybe 3 or 4 fights too early.
Well, Baluta said that Davies has made a big mistake taking this fight.
Yes.
Tell us why, though.
I just think that a fight like this for someone like him this early in his career can knock his confidence massively. Do you know what I mean? He'll probably learn a lot from it. But you know, we've seen in the past when people take hard fights too early and then kind of knocks them back a few steps. You know, if it was me, I'd probably wait for Baluta to move on. You know, Baluta's not going to hang about. He's not at that point where he's going to go win a title and defend it 5 or 6 times. He's going to win a belt and look towards next and move on to something else. You know, I feel like maybe this is probably just a bit of a big step too soon for Liam Davies. He doesn't quite need yet.
Where would you place Baluta in the sort of super bantamweights? Because there's a few just in Queensberry. You know, Jason Cunningham, we've just seen Tete. You know, Liam Davies, of course. Andrew Kane's knocking about between the weights as well. Where'd you place Baluta amongst all these guys?
I'd let Baluta fight any of them. I really would. And I'm not taking anything away from all those fighters. Some great fighters out there. You know, especially in the Queensberry. What I particularly like watching Andrew Kane. I think he's awesome. He reminds me a bit of Baluta. Like, he's a ferocious. That'd be a cracking fight. But you wouldn't turn your back on any of them. Not with Baluta. You couldn't. He's not at that stage in his career when you can afford to turn away anyone. And like I said, I think Baluta beats all of them. You know, as soon as you got to world level, that's a different story. Then you really got to focus on those sort of things. But I think they're all great fights. They're all great fighters. But I'm confident Baluta will come over all of them.
I know there's a language barrier, but do you talk about like dreams? Does he talk about Stephen Fulton being the champion? He wants to be a WBC champion. Is there chat about things like that?
100%, 100%. You know, he's been offered other fights which we turned down. You know, like he got offered a fight. I'm not going to say who. He got offered a big title, like big money up at super featherweight, and it was money that could have changed his life, really. And he said, "I'm not interested in money." He's like, "I'm not a super featherweight. I'm a super bantamweight. I'm going to move on. I'm going to win as much as I can at super bantamweight, and I'll make money if I have to later on." You know, he's making money. He doesn't work, but he wants to win as much as he can win until it's too late. You know, I guess there's always that stage of your career where if you need to sell yourself, then you can. But he's not there yet. He's like, I want to win a world title. I want to be in world title fights. Stephen Fulton is a tremendous fighter. And the other guy, I can't remember what his name is. The Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great fighters up there. But he wants to be up there with them. You know, his most recognisable fight is the one he lost to Mark Conran. So, even the fights that he's in, even the fights that he loses in, I'm not saying he's going to lose, but even the fights he does lose in, he always comes off well. He always looks good.
He'll be heading into Telford for this fight. That is Liam Davies' country. He is the hometown hero. Why?
He absolutely loves it. I don't know. Maybe he's always been in the away corner. I don't know what it is. When we were fighting against Brad Foster, yeah, I can't remember where Foster's from, but all his fans were slating him, and they were booing, shouting, screaming things, wiggling this, and he can't understand a word they're saying. I was just kind of standing there laughing. They're like, "You wait, Burnham." Blue's like going, "Hey, yeah, see, thank you." He doesn't care. He loves it. You know, he's in the changing room. He's just bouncing off it. I think he'd probably feel worse if there were more of his own supporters there. You know what I mean? There's like more pressure on him then. There's no pressure because he knows. He goes. It's almost as if he's looking at them saying, "I know your man is about to go through hell." Yeah. As I said, even when he lost to Conor or if he lost on a close decision, go ask Conor. That was probably one of the worst nights of his life in boxing. You know what I mean? He's looking at them like, I'm going to give your man the worst night of his life. You know what I mean?
Do you think he's going to give Liam Davies the worst night of his life?
100%. Liam Davies is getting sparked out, mate. Liam Davies is going to get knocked out. 100%. When he wakes up and he gets over his headache and he takes a few paracetamol and ibuprofen and that, he's going to look back and he's going to call me up and he's going to, "Hey, you're all right, mate. You're all right, yeah. Well done."